Hello, this is Nico from NVT Phybridge, and I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. What is the CCMT client, and how would I use it day to day by adding more devices from different locations and organizing them into groups? First, if you haven't already, let us open up the left navigation window to All Devices. This will show us a list of devices we currently have set up. At first, there will be none, but we will add devices one at a time. Use your preferred connection type. A defaulted switch will have Telnet enabled, however, it is a good idea to use SSH if SSH is enabled. If you are using the GBE interfaces, then the default IP address will appear 192.168.100.1. If you're using the management interface, the IP address is 192.168.1.1 by default. For our next step, a warranty contract will need to be in place. Otherwise, you will have to navigate to the switch itself and configure it. Go to the Services tab, enable SSH, save the changes, then move to the Connection tab and swap the device connection settings to SSH. Once done, go back to the Overview page to see if the connection is still made. Move to the Services tab and disable Telnet. Save the changes. Next thing we will want to do is export this device's settings to an Excel sheet, so that way we will be able to import this device onto another CCMT client, or, in the case of a failure, we can use this as a backup for the CCMT client so we won't have to add it again. We can do this at the All Devices tab in the left navigation menu and press the Export Devices. If you would like to encrypt the file that is about to be created, feel free to use any password you would like. You will need to remember this password when you decrypt the file. If no password is used, the CSV file will show the device's password information in plain text. Once this is done, if we ever lose the switch's information, we can then import the CSV file back onto the CCMT client to retrieve our information. We can now delete the switch and show us performing this task. Right-click the device, delete it, then import the CSV file using the encryption password we had set up earlier. And within seconds, our switch has been recognized by the client and we are back up and running. For the last step, we can organize multiple switches into groups to better organize the layout of the CCMT client. Let's say we have multiple switches that we are about to add into our network. In this situation, we want to add all of our polar switches to the office network. We can right-click the polar switch, select Group, and then create an office network group. Hitting the plus sign will add the switch to that new group. Once we have done this, the office network group will appear just below the default group. We can then repeat the same steps for the remaining polar switches. Since we have made a group for the polar switches, we can proceed with making a separate group for the remaining switches. Let's say we want our other switches to go into a security network. In that case, we can repeat all of the previous steps we did for creating the office group. Now it should be noted that while all of these switches are offline, we can still organize them into groups for when they are activated. Adding these switches into groups just provides a more visually friendly method of organizing your switches within the client that helps to manage your network. Thank you again for watching the CCMT Best Practices informational video. More information on the CCMT can be found at nvtphybridge.com. We hope this has been an informative look at the CCMT and its uses, and we hope you have a wonderful day.